Shade cloth is the most simplest and popular way to create a microclimate in your own garden. Hi, I'm Annette and welcome to Kitchen Garden Farmhouse. Are you planning on growing some food this year? Leave me a comment below on what is your very favorite crop to grow. You may know by now that the most recent change to the USDA Plant Hardiness Zone Map changed November the 15th, 2023. I live in Florida and there were places in Florida that were Zone 9A and 9B. Now they have been changed to 10A and 10B. According to the 2023 map, most of Florida went up half a climate zone. In 2012, most of Tampa, Florida was Zone 9B. Now Tampa, Florida is 10A. Now everybody's zone did not change, but a lot of people's did. Did your zone change? If so, leave me a comment below of what zone you're from and if your zone changed or not. According to the new plant hardiness zone map, about half of the U.S. has shifted into a new half zone and about half the country has not. Now the zone map is a guide. It's just that. It's a guide. It's not a be-all end-all guide because the zone map does not take into account the microclimate differences in each area. For an example, if you live in a valley, you may experience more colder temperatures in the wintertime than the areas that surrounding you. Also, the zone map does not address other important factors for our gardens. For example, humidity, heat, and precipitation. And even though the zone map provides subcategories like A and B, those A and B's only differ about 5 degrees Fahrenheit, and so many growers do not even consider or recognize the A and B categories because the 5 degrees Fahrenheit really does not affect the growing season that much. Even though the USDA Plant Hardiness Zone Map provides that extreme average of the temperatures in the dead of winter, that is not the only thing that would determine the success of our crops. There are many other factors that would determine the success of our crops. And even if you live in a zone where your weather may be a little bit too cold for broccoli, cabbage, kale, and things such as that, you can try to create a microclimate where you live by putting up a wall or using burlap bag or row covers to protect your plants from the surrounding extreme weather. Using things like row covers, having a greenhouse of some sort, no matter how small, or even putting up shade cloth over our crops can not only extend our growing season, but can allow us to grow some crops where otherwise we might not have been able to. Now, snow is actually a natural warming incubator. Even though it sounds counterintuitive, it's true. Snow can actually protect many plants until the springtime comes. Fresh snow provides a good insulation, almost like a really nice fluffy down jacket. What it does, it creates pockets of trapped air that will hold in the heat. When the snow is deep enough, actually it can prevent the soil from freezing and damaging the tender roots. Snow can act like a blanket protecting new growth from extreme temperatures and from the wind while keeping the plants moist. The zones over the U.S. vary so much. You have Alaska that's zone 1 and their temperatures can drop down as cold as negative 50 degrees Fahrenheit, where you have Puerto Rico that their temperature stays very warm. They may never drop below 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Shade cloth is the most simplest and popular way to create a microclimate in your own garden. During our winter months, when we are trying to plant and grow cool season crops, vegetables such as broccoli, cabbage, collards, kale, and others are well known for their tolerance to frost and can actually thrive outdoors down to a freezing 25 degrees Fahrenheit. So working on creating a microclimate within our garden to try to offset some of the temperature, be it cold or hot, is a great thing to do throughout our growing seasons. Microclimates can also be natural, such as valleys, canyons, and bodies of water, all of which can affect the overall growth of our plants in our area. Even within small regional boundaries, the hardness zone can vary greatly based on the differences in altitude. For example, many parts of Colorado, Utah, and Appalachia, they all feature a variety of hardiness zones due to local mountain ranges that greatly affect the climate, which is going to affect how we can grow our food. Let's talk about some environmental factors that affects plant growth. Plant's growth and where the plant can grow are greatly affected by the environment. If any environmental factor is less than ideal, it will limit a plant's growth. For an example, only plants adapted to limited amount of water can live in deserts. Directly or indirectly, most plants' problems are caused by some type of environmental stress. In some cases, poor environmental conditions, like not getting enough water, can damage a plant directly. In other cases, environmental stresses weakens a plant and makes it more susceptible to disease or insect attack. Environmental factors that can affect plants' growth include light, temperature, water, humidity, and nutrition. It is so fascinating how the natural sunlight affects plants. The natural sunlight outside supplies a complete range of color or wavelengths, and these wavelengths can be broken up by a prism into bands, different bands of color, which is red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and indigo, and violet. We think of the rainbow and all the beautiful colors of the rainbow. Well, the blue and the red light is what the plants absorb, and the blue and the red light have the greatest effect on the plant's growth. The blue light is responsible primarily for the vegetative leaf growth, and the red light, when combined with the blue light, encourages the plant to flower. Plants look green to us because they reflect rather than absorb green light. The temperature has a great influence on most plants' processes, anywhere from the photosynthesis to the germination. Let's take germination, for example. The temperature required for germination now will vary from plant to plant. However, your cool season crops usually will germinate best at 55 to 65 degrees Fahrenheit, like spinach, radishes, lettuces, things like that. And then you have your warm season crops. They're going to germinate better at temperatures between 65 to 75 degrees Fahrenheit. Plants like tomatoes, petunias, corn, okra, such as that. Water, it plays such an important part in the plant's growth. The water is a primary component in the plant helping to get photosynthesized. It's responsible for the plant to have fullness and firmness in its plant tissue. It helps the minerals and carbohydrates to move through the plant as it grows. It helps the plant to keep cool, and so much more. Humidity. Humidity has its place in plant growth. However, I know that here in Florida, when the humidity is too high, there is a lack of air circulation around the plants, and it will encourage fungal growth like powdery mildew. Plant nutrition. Plants need 17 elements for normal growth. 3 of them are carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. Those 3 are found in the air and in water. The rest of them are found in the soil. Thank you for watching. If you have not subscribed already, please take a moment to subscribe. Leave a like, a comment, and share the video with others. Will help the channel to grow. Thank you, and I will see you in the next video.